Something feels off. You know the feeling. You're scrolling through your phone and suddenly an hour disappeared. Someone asks what you did last weekend and your mind goes blank. The things that used to excite you, that drive you used to have, feels like it's behind frosted glass. And the worst part? It's been getting worse so gradually you almost didn't notice. I'm going to show you exactly what's happening to your brain, why you feel disconnected from yourself, and the 6-step process to reclaim your attention, your memory, and your identity. This isn't about going off-grid or smashing your phone. This is about understanding how your mind is being quietly rewritten. And if you stay until the end, I'll reveal the one practice that anchors you against the drift when everything else fails.
Welcome back to Deeper Dudes. But first, let's talk about why so many men feel like strangers in their own lives. You wake up, check your phone, scroll through news, messages, videos, head to work, more screens, lunch break, more scrolling. Evening comes, you sit down to relax, and your hand reaches for the phone again. Being alone without music or a screen feels unbearable. And when you try to remember last month, last year, it's just fog. Conversations you had, feelings you felt, moments that should have mattered, they're gone. Research from the University of California found that the average person touches their phone 2,617 times per day. That's not use, that's compulsion. But here's what nobody tells you about that compulsion. Every time you reach for your phone, you're not just passing time, you're interrupting your brain's ability to encode experience into memory. Neuroscientists call this cognitive drift.
Your attention fragments across constant inputs, scrolling, swiping, reacting. And without sustained, undistracted focus, your brain loses the ability to transfer short-term experiences into long-term memory. Your life is essentially being written in disappearing ink. I know this because I lived it. 3 years ago, a friend asked me what I was passionate about, and I froze. Not because I didn't have passions, but because I couldn't remember what they were. The version of me that loved building things, that got lost in books, that felt deeply, he was still in there somewhere, but I'd lost contact with him, buried under notifications, dopamine hits, and the constant hum of artificial stimulation. And when I looked at my camera roll, hundreds of photos I didn't remember taking, places I'd been but couldn't recall, that's when I realized the truth. But here's what's really happening, and this is where it gets disturbing. Algorithms don't just show you content,
They learn your emotional vulnerabilities. When you're angry, lonely, craving validation. And they exploit those states to shape what you see, what you believe, and ultimately who you become. A former Google design ethicist named Tristan Harris explained it like this. These platforms have thousands of engineers whose job is to keep you scrolling. They're not guessing. They're running experiments on your brain in real time. And they've discovered something powerful. You're most engaged when you're slightly agitated. So the algorithm learns to serve you content that keeps you in that state. Not calm, not happy, reactive. And here's the mechanism. Your nervous system has two modes, parasympathetic, which is rest and digest, and sympathetic, which is fight or flight. Constant scrolling keeps you locked in low-grade sympathetic activation. Your body thinks it's under threat, even when you're sitting on your couch. The result? You feel numb or constantly reactive.
Swinging between apathy and agitation without clear cause, a nervous system overwhelmed by artificial stimulation. This isn't burnout. This is identity erosion. When you lose memory of who you were, you lose the thread of your own identity, and that makes you vulnerable to being rewritten by whatever narrative the algorithm or culture serves you next. The traits that used to define you, curiosity, passion, drive, they feel distant and unreachable. Meaning fades, apathy spreads, and you start to wonder if this is just what getting older feels like. It's not. This is what cognitive drift feels like. And the way back starts with one simple practice: see the fog. For the next 3 days, don't try to change anything. Just track every time you reach for your phone, every scroll, every swipe. No judgment, no fighting it, just notice, because awareness alone weakens the trance. When I did this, I was horrified. I was reaching for my phone 80 to 100 times a day, not because I needed to,
But because my brain had been trained to crave the stimulation, most of those reaches were automatic. Hand to pocket, unlock, scroll. No conscious decision, just pattern. And that's the point. You can't change what you can't see, so see it first. Write down every reach. Keep a tally on a note card in your pocket. By day 3, you'll start catching yourself mid-reach, and in that half-second pause, you'll feel something you haven't felt in a long time: choice. That moment of choice is where everything begins. Before we go any further, I want to pause for something important. None of what we've been talking about matters if we don't have the energy and clarity to actually implement it. We all know what it feels like to wake up exhausted. No energy, poor focus, and zero motivation. We also know what it feels like when we get good, restful sleep, targeted therapy, and the right supplements. I've personally tested more things than you can imagine. I'm like your personal guinea pig.
Everything I have listed in the description below is science-backed and extensively tested. And if you grab anything through my links, you'll be supporting this channel at zero cost to you. Thanks for taking a look. Now let's get back to it. If this is landing for you, hit that like button so more men can find this when they need it. And drop a comment. When's the last time you felt fully present? No judgment, just curious. Now, here's the truth about identity that changes everything. You think you lose yourself gradually, but that's not how it works. What actually happens is you bury parts of yourself to fit in, to be productive, to avoid pain. And once they're buried, the noise makes sure you never go looking for them. A study from Microsoft Research found that the average human attention span dropped from 12 seconds in 2000 to 8 seconds in 2023. Goldfish are at 9 seconds. But this isn't about goldfish.
This is about the fact that you cannot build a life, a real life, with depth and meaning and connection on an 8-second attention span. You can't know yourself in 8-second bursts. Identity requires time, reflection, stillness. The very things modern life is designed to eliminate. And this leads directly into the second step: drop the mask. Here's the practice. Say 3 true things you've never said out loud, even to yourself. Not performance, not what sounds good, what's actually true. For me, it was this: I'm lonely, even around people. I don't know what I want anymore. And I'm scared that I've wasted years chasing things that don't matter. Saying those out loud, alone in my car, felt like cracking open a door I'd locked years ago. And behind that door was the version of me I'd been avoiding. Reclaiming honesty reclaims identity, because you can't become who you are if you won't admit where you actually are. Step 3, get into your body.
Your body is the only thing the algorithm can't touch. It's the anchor, the way back. Here's the simplest, most powerful practice I know. Breathe deliberately. Not meditation, not mysticism, just this. Sit down, no phone, no music, no distraction. Place one hand on your chest, one on your stomach. Breathe in through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Exhale for 6. Feel your ribs move. Feel your lungs expand. Do this for 5 minutes. That's it. What you're doing is reactivating your parasympathetic nervous system, telling your body it's safe, that there's no threat, and giving your brain a chance to reset. When I started doing this daily, I noticed something strange. I could feel again, not just emotions, but textures, temperature, my own heartbeat. I'd been so overstimulated for so long that I'd lost contact with basic physical sensation. And without that contact, you're just a brain floating in digital space. No roots, no ground. This practice is the ground. Step 4.
Recover what you buried. There's a dream, a passion, a version of yourself that got exiled, not because it was wrong, but because it didn't fit. Maybe it was writing, building things with your hands, music, travel, a wildness that felt too risky to express. Here's the question. What did you love before you learned to perform? Before you had to be productive, impressive, successful? Before the algorithm told you who to be? Go find one piece of that thing, not the whole thing, just one piece. For me, it was writing. I used to write for hours as a teenager. Fiction, essays, anything. Then life got busy. Careers, responsibilities, and I stopped. 3 years ago, I bought a cheap notebook and wrote one paragraph. No agenda, no audience, just words on a page. That paragraph reconnected me to a part of myself I thought was gone. And it reminded me of something crucial. You were never fully erased, only hidden. Step 5. Make ordinary things sacred.
Here's what most people miss about neuroplasticity. Your brain doesn't just change based on what you think. It changes based on what you do, repeatedly, with attention. Every time you choose presence over distraction, you're rewiring a neural pathway. Every time you speak truthfully instead of performing, you're strengthening the connection to your authentic self. This is neuroscience, not mysticism. So, take one ordinary daily ritual and make it sacred. Your morning coffee, your walk to the car, washing dishes. Do it slowly, deliberately, without your phone. Pay attention to every detail. The temperature, the texture, the sound. What you're doing is training your brain to be here, in this moment, in this body, in this life, because that's where identity lives. Not in the feed, not in the notifications, here. Step 6, leave a trail. Write down one sentence every day and put it where you'll see it. On your mirror, your desk, your phone lock screen. The sentence is this: I was here, and I remembered. That's it. Because memory is the thread that holds identity together. And when you write it down, when you physically mark your presence, you're creating an anchor against the drift. I started doing this 6 months ago. And now when I look back at those sentences, I see a map, not of where I went or what I did, but of who I was becoming. One sentence at a time, one remembered moment at a time. The fog doesn't lift all at once, but it does lift. When you combine all 6 steps, see the fog, drop the mask, get into your body, recover what you buried, make ordinary things sacred, and leave a trail, you're not just fighting distraction, you're reclaiming sovereignty over your own mind. And here's what I need you to understand. This is the invisible foundation beneath every other thing we talk about on this channel. You can't build discipline if your attention is fractured. You can't improve your relationships if you've lost contact with who you actually are. You can't find purpose if you're being rewritten by an algorithm designed to keep you reactive and consuming. So this isn't just one topic among many.
This is the ground everything else is built on. And the most powerful part? You don't have to wait. You can start today, right now. Track one phone reach. Say one true thing. Take one deliberate breath. That's all it takes to begin. Because memory always knows how to find its way home.
Drop a comment. Which of the 6 steps are you starting with today? Number 1, see the fog. Number 2, drop the mask. Number 3, get into your body. Number 4, recover what you buried. Number 5, make ordinary things sacred. Or number 6, leave a trail. I want to hear where you're beginning. Well, that's it. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you found it helpful, please be sure to give it a like and maybe even subscribe to Deeper Dudes. And hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. It all helps the channel more than you know, and it also tells us that we should make more content like this. We post videos every other day that tackle real challenges men face. Remember, struggling doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. The fact that you took time to watch this means you're ready for something better. Thanks again for watching and for checking out all the amazing products in the description below that could jumpstart your healing journey. Catch you in the next one, Deeper Dudes. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, keep thriving.